When I'm feeling down, one of the things that I love to do is hop on the YouTubes and go back in time and watch some classic paintball videos. What I've compiled for you today is the top 5 paintball videos that nobody knows about. So these were popular back in their day, but now in the modern context, they're not even discussed. And I mean YouTube videos. While there exists some amazing paintball DVDs from back in the day, like Serial Killers 1 and 2, or Heroes for a Day, The Excessive Story, those will not be featured in this video because they were DVDs later ripped to YouTube. I'm going to be focusing on digital content that was uploaded that way at its time. I'm going to keep it real with you guys. Like anybody else putting out a top 5 list on YouTube, basically it's just one man's opinion. This isn't the definitive list, but these videos are lost to time and they're worth bringing up again in the modern era. And they're also videos that were special to me. Now, one thing you guys might not know about me is I don't have any TV service. No cable, no Netflix, no Hulu, no Disney Plus, you know what I'm talking about. I primarily watch paintball content, sports, and anime. I'm filthy weeb trash, I get it. So, with that being said, dudes, if I've missed something, please feel free to go down in the comments, let me know, leave a link. If it's an OG paintball video that I haven't seen before and it's worth watching, I'm definitely gonna check that out, and maybe I'll shout you out too. Before we get into the list, I need to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for you guys getting me to 15,000 subscribers. When this channel had its big break 3 years ago, when I dropped my first life story, my teammates stole my paintball guns. I really had no idea what I was doing. I was editing this on a Pentium laptop and just seeing the channel grow and then me reinvesting what I've made to making these videos better, longer, more consistent, higher quality. It's been just really fulfilling. It's been one of the only things that's been going right for me in my life. And if you guys have been a part of it, if you guys have been helping me out, staying current on the videos, telling friends about the channel, even if you just watch occasionally, thank you guys so much.
Congratulations.
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 Number 5, Naughty Dogs vs. Infamous by Blacklist. I really couldn't have found a better introduction to independent paintball media than Blacklist. I discovered these guys way back on PB Nation when they won a contest to see who could submit the best edited paintball video. Blacklist is based in the Pacific Northwest, probably Portland, Oregon, somewhere around there. And they covered Team Uprising when they were younger. That's the same Uprising that's playing in the NXL today. My favorite Blacklist video is Naughty Dogs vs. Infamous. I love seeing the markers that each of these teams were shooting at the time. Naughty Dogs with their shockers, Infamous with those big-bodied dragon intimidators. Gorgeous markers. What Blacklist did better than anybody else, especially way back in the day at this time, they were able to show the paint in the air. They were able to show the lanes and the zones that the players were shooting. There's a lot of people getting shot and some slick editing that was way ahead of its time. Blacklist video is not a thing anymore, but Seattle Uprising still carries their story to this day.
Echo! To the B! Echo! Echo!
Number 4, Denver Altitude at the River City Open, 2007. While I'm not 100% sure if this was the very first HD paintball video, what I do remember is when the quality of this footage came out and was released to the public on YouTube, it blew everyone's mind, especially for 2007. As someone who hadn't played nationally, only smaller local tournaments at that time, it really made me dream and aspire to play at that national level. And that's what I kept grinding for until I was ready for it and I got there. So while the footage in this video, some of the clips are a little brief, they kind of cut away from the action and just reset the breakout, this footage is non-stop, old school PSP action. 2007 was the last year they were shooting 15 balls a second. So these old school die markers, die and proto. We're gonna talk about the protos. There's another video for that, trust me. These old school guns are just ripping at 15 balls a second, and they're doing just fine with the Halo Bs. I love old school markers, but the gameplay is in such great quality for the time. It really is one of those videos that I go back to and watch year after year. And the other cool thing about this video too, is there's a lot of future pros on this line, a lot of Midwest guys. So I think like a Chris Sosine, maybe a Sam Monville, maybe a Nick Sloviak, all those. I saw Zach Patient, there's a Zach Patient jersey if you look for it. So a lot of future pros were playing in this divisional X-ball match, and the footage quality is just miles ahead of everything else for its time. So this raw footage inspired me to create my raw footage the way I do today, although I try and do a better job of telling the story of what happens in every point. Number 3, 2010 World Cup Day 3, Team Tauntaun. In contrast to its contemporaries, this video of the Tauntauns is very understated. It's not flashy, it's not loud, there's no dubstep going on. This video is all about the technical gameplay, and it's very simple. It's not presented with flash. There's the gameplay, the sounds of the game, and just a simple beat. I go back to this video year after year because of how smooth the attackers were on this footage. So the Tauntauns were playing Division 1 at World Cup, and they just dunked on everybody. That's because they were a pro team in the European Millennium Series. So you have a Millennium Pro team coming to America for World Cup and just stomping out all the competition in a very stacked Division 1. There's little plays that I just go back to in this video, like how sick this guy's head check was, or how smooth they advance up the Dorito side. I love how the camera pulls back and you can see the Dorito players just snapping people out. And CEP was no slouch in D1. CEP was a very good Division 1 team. So this video was understated, it wasn't flashy, it just gets right to the point. It says everything it needs to say without being loud and obnoxious, and that's why it's number 3 on my list.
Short of the hand of God striking you dead, don't deviate from what the f I say do. Run up, cut across. Your gun's broken, your leg's broken, the head comes off your shoulders. I don't give a shit. Do it the way I say do it. So when I know it's broken, we won't do it again.
I already told you this, Ken. Why?
How do you misunderstand? Run up to the guy wire, cut across the 40. Do I need to learn another language that you can understand?
You said shooting. So I go up shooting at a pace where I can run and gun. You're right.
Number 2, Vipers and Damage by DQ Films. It's difficult just to pick one DQ video to get in this top 5 list, but Vipers and Damage really speaks to me about the tournament paintball grind and what really goes in to a practice at that high level divisional paintball. Vipers at this point in time, I believe were playing Division 2, and Damage was a winning D1 team about to go to the pro division. It's clear that Damage is eating the Vipers' lunch in this practice. So the video is broken down into 2 parts. Both of them are awesome, and they really just work so well together to create one video. The first part of it is an edit. So you have your slow-mo, you have your music, and it's a great edit. The vibes are so chill. I go back to this video year after year. I remember coming home from high school, putting on my DQ Films Vipers vs. Damage, getting hyped up for practice that weekend. It's very motivating. So you have the edit of the team scrimmaging, and after the edit, it cuts to raw footage that was used in the edit. So that was brilliant within itself. You never really get to hear a coach just ripping into his players when they're performing kind of crappy, not gonna lie. There are some mistakes that happen in the video, and the coach of the Vipers yells at his players about what mistakes were made and how to correct them. There's a lot of intense stuff going on between the players and the coach, and it makes for some compelling content. DQ was by far and away the #1 independent paintball video creator of his era. Everybody else was just in DQ's shadow. And DQ inspired me to make content. He inspired me to grab my camera and film our practices. And even watching this video, when I was practicing with my team, I would be like, you know what? I'm gonna dial up my intensity. If I see something I don't like at my practices, I'm gonna start yelling at people because that's what they did in the DQ film. Maybe it worked, maybe it didn't, who knows? The #1 greatest paintball YouTube video of all time that nobody knows about is Danny Manhattan. There's a lot of mystery surrounding Danny Manhattan. Nobody really knows who for sure is behind the masterpiece that is this video. Some people say it's DQ Films. Others say it was a group of college students not affiliated with paintball. The most interesting rumor is that it was funded by somebody within the industry, but they never paid for it in full. That's why it came out on a YouTube channel that only has one video and that's operating under a pseudonym, a fake name of Pooey McMooey. What makes this video so special is how the rosters of Dynasty and the Russians were constructed at this point in time. Dynasty has Oliver Lang, back from the Iron Men. Combined with their core of OGs, they also have Alex Mouse Goldman. So you have a stacked dynasty with the spiritual leader Oliver Lang at the helm, going against a pre-Houston Heat Russian Legion. But this Russian Legion also had Dave Baines, J-Rab, and I'm pretty sure they had Marcelo this season too. So you have heavy hitters who moved on to other teams playing against each other at the World Cup Finals. Very much like the Tone Tones video. Pooey McMooey, Danny Manhattan is understated. It's not about the hype. They're pulling back the music and they're just doing a simple beat and the sounds of the game. You also hear the coaching, you hear the pits, you hear the sidelines. There's so much emotion in Danny Manhattan, and it is the purest paintball video of all time. I believe that you guys are gonna have a lot to debate between numbers 5 through 2. That's all for debate. But the #1 GOAT is undisputed Danny Manhattan. I've had this conversation with my peers like Dufort Media, FPS Paul, and they all point to Danny Manhattan is the GOAT. I'm not gonna spoil the ending of Danny Manhattan for you, but it features a very powerful scene of Oliver Lang on the bench, on his knees with his head in his hands, praying to the universe that Dynasty will win this point. Again, I'm not going to tell you how it ends. I want you, as soon as you're done watching this video, to go watch Danny Manhattan. Leave a comment, say Soup sent me, this is the GOAT. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this wild ride through the top 5 paintball videos that nobody really knows about. Hopefully we get these videos back into the paintball conscious and you guys learn something, go back in time, see how paintball was in another era. This is Scotty with Will Ball for Soup. I had a ton of fun making this one, and I already feel better. Signing out for now.